Is Gradey Dick about to become the unexpected casualty of Toronto's defensive revolution? We've just witnessed the most explosive summer league showcase in franchise history, where a pack of defensively dominant rookies and sophomores absolutely tormented opposing teams with relentless pressure and game-changing steals. The basketball gods seem determined to test every player's commitment to the new Raptors' identity, and one shocking reality is emerging. Our most reliable three-point threat might possess the rarest weakness in modern basketball, the defensive liability gene. The mysterious alchemy of roster construction suggests that even fan favorites aren't safe when a front office declares war on mediocre defense. I'm about to reveal the brutal truth about why Gradey Dick's Raptors' future is hanging by the thinnest of threads. What's up, Raptors Nation? Quick Court coming in hot with another deep dive analysis that's going to absolutely shake up everything you thought you knew about our roster construction. Hope you're all crushing it today, repping that championship mentality, and ready to dive into some uncomfortable truths about our team's direction. How exactly does a promising young shooter suddenly find himself fighting for survival against a tsunami of defensive savages who are rewriting the rules of what it means to earn minutes in Darko's system? Drop your predictions down in the comments right now, because I've been connecting dots that most fans are completely missing about this roster battle. Seriously, stick around until the end, because I'm about to break down a development pattern that will absolutely blow your mind about how Summer League just changed everything for multiple players' futures. The writing was already on the wall when Coach Darko made those now famous comments about rotations at the end of last season. He essentially told the media that his approach to playing time would be completely different next year. No more guaranteed spots, no more playing favorites. In his exact words, he's not here to be an ice cream man whose job is to please everybody. That should have been the first warning sign that every single player would need to earn their minutes through performance, not reputation. But here's where things get really interesting for Gradey Dick's situation. While he was recovering from that season-ending knee injury that kept him out of the final stretch, Summer League was becoming an absolute showcase of everything the Raptors front office values most. Suffocating defense, relentless energy, and players who make opposing teams absolutely miserable to play against. What do you think happens when a coach who prioritizes defense above all else suddenly has access to a crop of players who live and breathe that mentality? Because that's exactly what we witnessed in Las Vegas, and it should terrify any player who doesn't fit that mold. Murray-Boyles absolutely exploded in that semifinal game against Golden State, dropping 20 points while grabbing 9 rebounds and recording 4 steals. But here's the key detail everyone's missing. He did all of that while playing the exact style of basketball that gets Darko excited. Physical defense, crashing the boards, making life difficult for opposing players on every single possession. Then you look at Jacoby Walter, who's clearly added serious size to his frame and is bringing that motor that made him so attractive as a draft prospect. The energy he's displaying, combined with his defensive potential, fits perfectly into what this organization is building. Even guys like Shead, Jonathan Mogbo, and Elijah Martin are all cut from that same cloth. Players who understand that defense is their ticket to meaningful playing time. Don't you find it telling that while all these defensive-minded players were making their case in Summer League, Gradey Dick was nowhere to be found? Sure, he had a legitimate injury excuse, but optics matter in professional sports, and sometimes timing is everything. Now, let's be completely honest about Gradey's strengths and weaknesses. He showed flashes of really solid play last season, averaging over 14 points per game and shooting a respectable percentage from three-point range. When he's locked in, he can definitely provide that floor spacing and shooting threat that every modern offense needs. The problem is that his defensive limitations become glaringly obvious when you compare him to the level of intensity these other guys bring. Make sure you're subscribed to Quick Court, because we're going to be tracking every single roster battle as training camp approaches. Basketball is becoming increasingly positionless, but one thing remains constant. Coaches will always find minutes for players who can guard multiple positions and make life hell for opposing teams. That's exactly what Murray-Boyles, Walter, Shead, and Mogbo all bring to the table. They're not just adequate defenders. They're potential game changers who can swing momentum with steals, deflections, and pure hustle plays. The cruel reality is that shooting ability alone might not be enough to guarantee rotation minutes anymore. Yes, Dick shot 35% from 3 last season, which is solid but not spectacular. Compare that to the defensive impact guys like Shead and Mogbo made immediately, and you start to understand why the coaching staff might be leaning toward prioritizing two-way players. Have you hit that subscribe button yet? Because this type of deep analysis is exactly what we deliver every single day. What makes this situation even more challenging for Dick is the depth of competition he's facing. It's not just 1 or 2 players threatening his spot. It's an entire philosophy shift that values a specific type of player. Walter brings shooting potential with defensive upside. Murray-Boyles offers versatility and rim protection. Shead provides that pit bull mentality at the guard position. Mogbo brings switchability and energy. Each of these players represents something that modern NBA teams desperately want: the ability to contribute meaningfully on both ends of the floor. When roster spots are limited and every minute matters, coaches naturally gravitate toward players who don't have glaring weaknesses that opposing teams can exploit. The Summer League rounds should be a wake-up call for anyone who thought roster spots were guaranteed based on draft position or previous playing time. This coaching staff has made it crystal clear that they're evaluating players based on current production and fit within their system, not past achievements or potential. So what does Gradey Dick need to do to secure his future with this organization? The answer is simple, but incredibly difficult to execute. He needs to prove that his offensive contributions outweigh his defensive limitations by such a massive margin that the coaching staff can't afford to leave him on the bench. This is the reality of professional basketball in 2025. Every single day is an audition, and every practice is an opportunity to prove your worth. The players who embrace that mentality and find ways to impact winning will stick around. The ones who don't might find themselves looking for opportunities elsewhere, regardless of their talent level. What do you think Gradey Dick's future holds with the Raptors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if this analysis opened your eyes to something new, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because we're going to be covering every twist and turn of this roster battle as we head into training camp. This is Quick Court, and we'll catch you in the next one. Raptors Nation!